What is Jasper.ai and how can you use it to write and edit content for the web faster? Hi there, my name is Brian Collins. Welcome to the Become a Writer Today channel. So I love testing the latest writing tools, apps and software. And if you want to get my reviews or profiles of all the latest apps and software, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But one thing that's caught my eye over the past year or two is how writers, or these forward-thinking writers, are beginning to use AI to enable themselves to paraphrase content, rephrase content, and write for the web quickly and easily. Enter Jasper.ai, which was previously known as Jarvis.ai. Basically, it claims to be the future of writing, and it uses artificial intelligence to enable writers and non-writers, which is a key selling point, to create content for their blogs, social media, websites, and more. And it's got lots of 5-star reviews. And it's also a tool that's been trusted by many corporate companies. Now, all of this social proof is fantastic, but I was more interested in how it's using artificial intelligence to create original content, because I spend a lot of time publishing content on Become a Writer Today and other niche sites. So I took out a premium version of Jasper, and in this video, I'm going to walk through some of the key features in Jasper which I've used and tested, and talk about how you could potentially use a tool like this as part of your writing workflow. So if you enjoy the content in this video, then hit thumbs up. And if you want to get more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, before we get into Jasper, I just want to talk a little bit about the pricing, because it is important to understand how the pricing for these tools are structured. You can try Jasper pretty much for free, but you're probably going to need the $49 per month version, and that's estimated, and that's based on how many words you're going to use inside of Jasper using the templates, which I will show you in a moment. There is 50 different templates and support for 10 languages, and support for 10 users or team members. So you could use this with your team. So if you're doing a lot of content, if you're rephrasing a lot of content, or using AI to write your content faster, you will quickly hit 35,000 words. So for context, a typical good blog article is between 1,000 and 1,500 words long. So that's pretty much 35 articles, which any busy content publisher will quickly hit. Now, there is a boss mode where you can pay $99 per month, and it gives you access to a Google Docs style editor and some additional features, as well as priority chat. That said, let's dive into Jasper so you can see what it's like. When you log into Jasper.ai, you'll be presented with a dashboard where you can see access your favorite templates, see your usage, and so on. It's actually the template section that I used the most. There are 50 different templates that you can use for various types of writing. Now, I could be here for hours going through all of the different templates, so I'm just going to focus on one or two that I find useful. So I worked for 5 or 6 years as a copywriter. It was my job to write a web copy that sold accounting software. Copywriters often use something called copywriting hooks or frameworks. One of the most popular copywriting frameworks is called the AIDA framework, whereby you grab the attention of a prospect, you arouse interest in them, then you encourage them to desire your product or service, and finally you ask them to take action by subscribing or buying now. Now, it can take a lot of time to write copy that converts, but this is where a tool like this can potentially help. So I have here an article where I reviewed the crypto and NFT wallet Rainbow.me. You don't need to know anything about what this wallet does to see how Jasper works. I've selected some text that simply summarizes what Rainbow.me does. So it's basically a product description. Now I'm going to click on the AIDA framework. I'm going to paste in this text. I'm just going to delete this subheadline because it might be a little bit confusing. And now I'm going to click Generate AI Content. Jasper will take a few moments, and now it's going to produce some copy following the AIDA principle. So it has attention, interest, desire, action. Now I should point out that I'm not actually going to have attention in the copy, or interest, or desire, or action. Attention could be the headline, so I could put this as a headline on my sales page, or even in an email. Collecting digital collectibles? ? Look no further. That's a good way to get the attention of a prospect. Interest, this is where I describe what Rainbow.me does. Rainbow is the simplest, the most secure way to secure, and so on. Desire, this is where I arouse desire in the prospect or reader. With Rainbow.me, you have complete control over your assets. You can easily, so I talk about all of the different things it can do. And action, create a free account on Rainbow.me now. So that's the call to action, encouraging the prospect to act. So if I were a copywriter, I would have a couple of different options that I could use for my web copy. Now, there are other copywriting frameworks. Problem, agitate, solution is another option. Again, Jasper works the same for this. So I just paste in my product description, click Generate AI Content, and Jasper will just take a few seconds to produce some web copy that I can potentially use. Again, problem. So I'm not actually going to use the text problem. It's just highlighting the problem statement. Ethereum wallets can be confusing and difficult to use. Agitate. Not only is it hard to find a good Ethereum wallet. And then solution. Here I talk about what Rainbow.me does. So if I were a copywriter, this could potentially save me a lot of time. Now I've tested Jasper even when it was known as Jarvis, and I have to say that the accuracy and the quality of the copy that it's producing has gotten a lot better. I would actually find this quite usable, and it doesn't need a lot of edits. Now you may be thinking, Brian, I'm not a copywriter. I don't really care about selling products and services. Well, let's try one of the other templates so you can see how this could potentially work. So I'm actually going to use the content improver, which will help me rephrase a piece of content. So I've pasted in some text here that describes the concept of crypto lending. And it starts with, usually when I need money, I go to a bank, make my case, follow the loan application procedure. Now, let's say I wanted to paraphrase this content so I could reuse it on social media, or I could reuse it in some other documentation on my site, or even so I could, I suppose, summarize somebody else's work in my own words, but get the help of AI writing software. Well, this is where Jasper will rephrase it with 3 different options that I can potentially use. Now, again, I can click thumbs up if I like it, or thumbs down if I don't like it. And from what I understand, this can help improve the quality of the tool. And I can also move it to trash if I don't like it. So crypto lending has been an interesting way for me to invest and also fund parts of my business. Not so keen in that one. So I'm going to click poor completion and trash. The crypto space is still in its infancy, and there's not a lot of options out there when it comes to investing. Okay, I think that's a bit better. So I potentially use this. And then when I'm ready, I can select the text and bring that into Google Docs, and if I have boss mode, Jasper will integrate with Google Docs, and it's their most popular plan. Let's say you're a blogger. Well, any blogger will tell you that writing the introduction of an article is often the hardest part, because sometimes you're staring at a flashing cursor, you've got writer's block, and you're unsure what to say. So let's just take the headline for this article. Let's paste it into blog post title. Let's put in Bitcoin holders and NFT buyers. So this is my ideal audience for this particular article. And yeah, casual works for me. Casual usually works well for blog posts. Click generate AI content, and let's crank this up to 5. And again, Jasper will use some of my credits. So I do have a premium subscription. Do want to point that out. Now it's given me a couple of different introductions for my article, simply based on the headline. So you could write a couple of different headlines for your article and then use these as a type of writing prompt for the rest of the article. So you've decided to buy some NFTs, exclamation mark. Congratulations, exclamation mark. But what's the best way to store them? Rainbow.me is a So again, I'd make some edits. I personally don't like a lot of exclamation marks, and it's missing the caps here. But this is relatively usable for me. And I could use this as an introduction to my article, and that could be enough for me, or to act as a prompt to help me finish the article in question. Or simply, if you have a lot of information in your article and you're just unsure how to begin it, you could just paste the information in and you could use one of these as an introduction. The other hard part of any article is the conclusion. Sometimes you'll spend ages laboring on an article, and then you got to get to the bit where you summarize all of it, and it can be just painful, difficult, and to be honest, a chore. Well, what I would suggest is use the conclusion template in Jasper. Simply put in a couple of key bullets about what your article is about. You could take them from your outline. Click generate AI content, and it will use up a couple of your credits to give you a couple of different options or conclusion paragraphs. So Rainbow.me is a great option for NFT traders who want a user-friendly and safe wallet to store their tokens. It even has a question mark or a question at the end for readers, which is a good way to end a blog post. There's another option here where it has let us know what you think in the comments below with an exclamation mark. Neither of these need a lot of edits, and I'd be happy to use both. And it probably would save me a bit of time writing the conclusion. So basically, I could outline my article, just write the middle of the article, write the key points, and then use this tool to get the introduction and the conclusion, and then tie it all together. And if you're somebody who doesn't write a lot for a living, this could be a way to speed up your workflow. When I was working as a copywriter, I also spent time writing copy for paid and organic social media posts to sell products and services. Sometimes you would have to write several dozen versions of the same post, and all of these would be split tested with ads. So it was really difficult to figure out how to say the same thing several dozen times. So again, this is where I could use a tool like this. So again, I'm just going to take the summary of Rainbow.me. I'm going to go back over to the product description, paste this in. I'm going to click fun, because I suppose that's for social media. And I can, of course, improve the accuracy by putting in example outputs, but I'm not going to do that for the purposes of this video. But that is something that you can do if you're going to invest in using this tool for the long term for your business. So now it's given me a couple of different headlines that I could use for a Facebook ad headline. Create your Ethereum wallet in minutes, in seconds, in seconds. These are actually the same. So perhaps I haven't given it enough information. So I'm going to go back in here and take this as well. And I'm going to click generate AI content and see does it give me something a bit different. Now I have a couple more options that I can pick from. And of course I have a history as well, so I can go back and review previous options too. If I go back to the template section, it's not just headlines, so I can get the rest of the Facebook text by going in here, clicking generate AI content. Make sure I give it a meaningful title. Again, it'll just take a moment to produce some copy that I can use for my Facebook ad description. Introducing Rainbow.me, the easiest way to collect digital collectibles. And this will be the description that appears in the Facebook post. So this way I could build out what's called a copy deck of multiple different versions of copy that I could use for my organic and paid social media posts. Now I don't use or I don't write copy for social media much these days, but I do spend a lot of time writing video descriptions for YouTube, which can be painful. So I want to rank for Rainbow.me wallet view, and I'm going to click generate AI content. I could probably spend a bit more time on the title if I wanted. Now it's given me a couple of different YouTube descriptions that I could potentially use. And actually, as somebody who's spent more time on recording YouTube videos over the past while, actually this is something that I would use quite a lot. Because to be honest, after laboring over a video, it is quite boring and a bit of a chore to write these descriptions. So this is probably something that I'm going to be using going forward. Now it's worth pointing out as well that templates are continually added to Jasper. So when I first started using this tool, it didn't have an option for core answers or business or product names. So it's great to see that they're providing different use cases or different options and templates for writers and for people who maybe aren't as comfortable with writing. And to be honest, it's the second audience that'll probably get the most benefit from this. So I could probably knock up a YouTube description or a Facebook ad template relatively quickly because I suppose I write every day. But if somebody doesn't write every day, they can find this kind of thing exceptionally difficult. One other thing that is a bit of a chore is writing meta descriptions and SEO blog post titles. So again, let's put in the Rainbow.me wallet review as the headline. And for the description, I'm just going to take the same piece of text where I have summarized in the article what Rainbow.me does. And then I'm going to paste it in here, just delete this subhead. And the keyword is Rainbow.me review. So it is important to put the keyword in because this is for the title and meta description for your blog post. And this is a template that I actually use quite a bit for one of the content sites that I run. So it has the keyword in the title and it has the keyword in the meta description. So this is fantastic. And it is even putting in the name of the publication. And it's actually not actually called this publication, but this could be a way that I could create meta descriptions and titles for my site or for my sites quickly and easily, or I could potentially give a writer access for them to do just this. Now, I also use bullet points quite a lot as a writer. I use them in emails. I sometimes use them on landing pages. And I also just sometimes like using bullet points because it's a good way of quickly summarizing the benefits of an article. So this is another template that I've gotten some benefit from. I suppose you could use it for sales copy too. So I pasted in the same text. I'm going to leave witty as the tone of voice. I actually haven't experimented too much with the tone of voice, to be honest. So that's something I should probably look at more. I'm going to click on generate AI content. And you can see here that it summarizes my description into a few key bullets. So if I had a bullet at the end of my review of Rainbow.me summarizing what it does, this could be a way for me to generate those bullets quickly and easily. And actually, if I use pros and cons a lot when I'm writing reviews of writing software. Pros and cons actually are quite or deceptively hard to write because you've got to summarize the benefits and the weaknesses of a piece of software. So this could be a way to do just that. That's an overview of the features that I'm using inside of Jasper today. To summarize, the ones that I used the most in a previous role were the copywriting frameworks because it saved me quite a good bit of time. Today, I'm using the content improver. I'm also using the SEO blog post title and meta description generator. Now, personally, I find writing blog posts easy, so I don't actually use the introduction and conclusion paragraph, but I would recommend these to writers who struggle with either. One template that I intend to start using quite a bit more is the persuasive bullet points to summarize articles, and also the YouTube description tool. I was also pleased to see that new templates have been added, like quora answers and text summarizers. I do paraphrase content, so I could imagine myself using the text summarizer. I haven't explored the recipes too much, but basically they're kind of templates that you can use to brief other writers and to produce content using a tool like Jasper. So I looked at the product review recipe, and you can see here that it has some outline of all of the different templates that I could use to create a product review. So this could save me quite a bit of time. Now I'm currently on the basic plan, so I'm paying $29 per month. Don't have any need for the premium plan, but I may consider upgrading at some point. I suppose the main benefits or selling points is that I could give other team members access. And I suppose if I was using this to generate a lot of copy, I would of course have more credits. From what I understand, you also get access to creating documents inside of Jasper as well, and then using their AI tool inside of Jasper, or their templates inside of Jasper. So I could do a lot more writing with the tool if I upgraded. So I hope you enjoyed this overview of some of the great features that Jasper offers. Now there is some competitors that I have not talked about. So one competitor to consider is WriteSonic. Works quite similar to Jasper. Some of the content is comparable. I don't think it has as many templates though. It is a little bit more affordable. WordTune is another popular option that you may want to consider too. You can try that for free. It has a Chrome plugin. Doesn't have quite as many templates, but it is more affordable at $10 per month. The other thing to understand with these tools is that they're rapidly changing because they're using AI. So you don't need to learn everything that it does, but just consider perhaps integrating one part or one template or one recipe with your writing workflow. Right now for me, I'm going to be using these for writing YouTube descriptions for videos like this. And if you did enjoy this video, then hit thumbs up. And to get more videos like this, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel.